Yes, once again, learners, I'm happy to be part of you at this moment. In our previous lesson, we were able to look at materials that shatter easily. And as I said, the three materials that shatter easily are glass, ceramics, and then concrete. So we have looked at the first two, that is glass and ceramics. Now we are going to look at concrete. I believe you all know what I mean by concrete. But then we need to be a little more informed about the structure of concrete. Concrete is made up of long, thin crystals which overlap each other. And the components of concrete are sand, gravel, and cement. Below is a diagram to show the composition of concrete with its percentages. Yes, before you make any material make any material made of concrete, you should think about these percentages as you are trying to make up the mixture. The water should be 16%, the sand 26%, the gravel 41%, the cement 11%, and then of course air should also take up a given percentage of 6%. However, what is very important here is for you to understand the components. After understanding the components, then when you want to make concrete, those are the percentages you should put in mind. So how is concrete formed? Concrete is formed by mixing sand, gravel, and cement. However, we should know that cement becomes the major constituent and is made up of two things, that is aluminium silicate and calcium silicate. And those two are heated together with limestone, and clay at a temperature of 1400 in gas-fired furnace. Why do you think why should concrete be wetted with water for several days after making it? 2. Why is it easy to break concrete with a hammer? 3. Is concrete a mixture? Give a reason. Please, I want you to think about those questions as we are moving on with our presentation, or even after our presentation. You should be able to answer those few questions. What are the properties of concrete? Concrete is durable. As we can see, the uses of concrete, because of its durability, that's why we are able to make it do certain things. It's fire resistant, impact resistant. For example, some walkways, the pavers, however much you move, so many people will move along those pathways made of pavers and they will remain in position. Then it's porous. It means that any water that falls on it can easily drain through. Then its density is lower than that of the actual materials that make the mixture. The density of the concrete you've made, for example the pavers, will be less than that of the sand, less than that of the cement, and less than that of the gravel. Then it has thermal insulation properties. It is able to retain some heat. Applications of concrete. Yes, we've seen pavements that have been made out of pavers, pathways that have been made out of pavers, used as architecture structure. We've seen buildings whereby that the concrete material is put to improve on the beauty. Used in foundations, we've seen bricks that are made out of these concrete components, and they are also very good. Then used to make motorways, used to make roads and bridges, used to make parking structures, and also used to make walls and footings for gates. Here we can have some few examples, some few products of concrete. Like I've been talking about the pavers, they are there. We have the bricks. Most of you, as you move around, you see these bricks being made. That is concrete. Then we have the culverts. Then we have the flower vessel, also made out of concrete. Then we have these other materials that are used in fencing, when people want to demarcate their pieces of land. Then others are used to make also pathways. So those are some of the few materials that I've been able to put across here. I believe you can add more. What is the use of concrete in construction? It contributes to the beauty of our public places. You just imagine our pathways made of pavers. They are really very beautiful. Its light color helps to lower the high temperatures. Then it reduces cooling costs and smog formation. Still, to add to that, structures that are made out of concrete can last for a long period of time. That's why we opt to use them in construction, in making our pathways, in buildings, in acting as pathway or gullies for water, especially when it rains. Then the concrete's thermal mass also makes it possible to maximize energy efficiency during the entire life cycle of the buildings. Thank you. Please, we'll meet again next time.